I know I'm going live a lot later than usual, but I had to delay the podcast a good 30 minutes to get more information on what happened at the end of Dynamite. And I'm going to be 100% transparent with you because I was watching Dynamite a little later than usual. It was a long day for me, so I I didn't catch Dynamite until 30 minutes into the show. So I was, of course, behind everyone else. And when I saw the match, the main event for tonight's Dynamite, it was, of course, Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship. And the ending happened. Hangman Page caught a nasty King Kong lariat, and he landed on his neck. You know, at first I'm thinking, okay, well maybe this is a KO finish to protect him, to make sure that he's protected, keep the belt on Moxley, so he can then fight MJF. I didn't see the news. I was behind everyone. So, of course, when I go to Twitter after the show ended, and I'm seeing all the Hangman Pages praying for Hangman Page, you know, people just sending their good well wishes, get well soon to Hangman Page. You know, it is one of those things where you have to question, like, God, am I really that numb to this? Like, I'm not trying to make it about me, please. It's just crazy to me, because I had to watch it. I went back and rewatched it a good 2-3 times. The first time around, I didn't register what happened. It didn't register with me that he got hurt. I thought it was just a spot to get in and out the match to protect him after they had a very grueling match, right? And usually AEW is really good with KO finishes, protecting talent. So I just assumed it was staged. Come to find out, it's not staged. What you saw at the end of Dynamite was a man legitimately KO'd. He got KO'd wrestling Jon Moxley. PWI Insider reported that the KO finish was not planned. It was a legitimate medical issue. No confirmation on what it is, but they've heard from sources that it is a concussion. Look, this is going to sound cold, but I kind of hope it is, because if it's not a concussion, that means it's worse. People don't understand that when wrestlers don't move after they get hit, that's paralysis. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. We just had one happen to Big E. And again, this stuff is no one's fault. I see people on Twitter blaming Jon Moxley, somehow making this AEW's fault. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't turn this into an AEW versus WWE issue. Fuck that shit. This isn't the time for that. A man got hurt. He got hurt trying to entertain us. So I'm just gonna give you some details on what's going on, how bad it is, and then we're gonna truck along. So bear with me for a second. I'm gonna pull up my Facebook page, because I do have some pictures that I would like you guys to see. So this is for those who didn't see the match, because I know some people watching me, you're either on a delay or you just don't watch AEW, but you watch me for AEW updates. So here are the pictures from the event. This is the ending of the match. Then if you watch what happened, this is a pretty nasty, well, this is a bad photo, but that's a pretty nasty fall on his neck. Here's a better picture of it. He literally just fell on his neck. And people were saying he was knocked out from the King Kong lariat. We don't know yet. We don't know if it was the King Kong lariat or the fall or both. But wherever it happened, Jon Moxley clearly was distraught by what happened, so he feels bad. Hangman Page couldn't stand up. They stretchered him out. There's a stretcher there. And the entire ending was disjointed because a man got hurt. Which is I hate saying it, but it's typical in wrestling. This is not one of those things where it's uncommon that these men and women get hurt inside the ring. It happens very often, which is why it's very important that we as fans are always showing respect to what these men and women do for us. They don't have to do this shit. They do this for our entertainment. The spots, the bumps, the time away from their families, from their children, to come entertain us. And when stuff like this happens, it's one of those things where you just learn to appreciate them while they're here, because you just never know. You just never know what could happen. And in a second, their lives could be changed. In 1 second. So I am praying for Hangman Page. Just like I was praying for Big E. Just like I was praying for many other people who were hurt. I have no idea how serious this is. No one does right now. It's still early. But there will be updates coming in. But I wanted to open with that because too many times we as wrestling fans, we take for granted what these men and women do for us. And I think we need to just learn how to be... We need to learn how to be more open-minded, more compassionate. I feel like we've lost a plot on a lot of things when it comes to wrestling. Now every time I look online, it's all about WWE versus AEW, and I'm guilty of that too. I fall victim to it, unintentionally or not. It's almost like we forget that these men and women are people. They're people. And they have lives, families, wives, children, aspirations outside of wrestling. So, yes, please, today, let's not be assholes. Let's be respectful. Let's send our prayers to Hangman Page. Let's remember that this thing that we watch, this thing called wrestling, it's not for the faint of heart. Okay, this isn't ballet. You heard that term so many times before. This is legitimate. And no one gets the blame for this. Freak accident. I'm pretty sure Jon Moxley didn't intentionally, maliciously clothesline Hangman Page to knock him out. I'm pretty sure both of them understood what needed to be done to give the fans the best match possible. And that's what happened. Hangman Page, I guarantee you, would not harbor any resentment towards Moxley. And vice versa if it happened to Moxley. So don't go blaming anybody. It's not Tony Khan's fault. It's not Jon Moxley's fault. It's not AEW's fault. It's not the fans' fault. Shit happens. Let's just all be more compassionate. And let's pray that things turn out well for Hangman Page. Yeah, honestly, if it's a concussion, that would be the best case scenario. Because the worst case scenario is paralysis, which means wheelchair. And that's happened way too many times in wrestling. I would hate for it to happen to Hangman. So, more details to come. You'll have to forgive me. I was planning on doing a countdown. I'm still going to do that countdown before the AEW review because I have people that donate music to me. So please be understanding. I had to open up with this first because it would be disrespectful to do a review and then talk about it. No, I needed to make this time for Hangman Page because he's done way too much for us. So, prayers to Hangman Page and to everyone involved, AEW, his family. And hopefully we'll get some good news soon. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. We're going to play the countdown with all the artists, musicians who donated their music to me. And I wanted them to have this spotlight. And then we'll be back with my AEW Dynamite review. So sit tight. See you guys soon.
Hey Alex, it is WWE Hall of Famer Lita. You and YouTube have had some really special moments, and I think it's time to celebrate that. This is Just Alyx YouTube channel. I am WWE Hall of Famer Lita, and you are watching Just Alyx. Check you soon. Something like that, right?
Initiating login sequence. Welcome to Alyx's World.
All right. Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, Just Alyx. I am going to keep my eyes on Twitter and all the wrestling news sites, my sources, if anything else, if we get any more updates on Hangman Page. That is what I'm mostly concerned about right now. So at any time, if I pause the review to give you updates, be ready for them. I'm just going to keep my eye on Twitter the entire time. And if you find out anything too, please let me know. Because we could use some good news right now. But thank y'all for joining me for this lovely Tuesday night. Yeah, AEW Dynamite on Tuesday, not Wednesday. They did go head to head with NXT, so I'm sure that was a big deal to some. I saw that NXT was loaded with stars from Raw and SmackDown, which involved, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Owens. I think they had Judgment Day. At least Rhea Ripley was on the show. And Austin Theory teasing a cash-in on the NXT Championship, which honestly sounds like a great idea because he should not be cashing in on Roman Reigns. We'll talk about that. I might be talking about Halloween Havoc, depending on how I feel by Saturday. Because I think Halloween Havoc looks like a pretty decent show, especially if Austin Theory could cash in. Something to think about, but we'll touch on that much later. This isn't about NXT, this is about AEW, because that's the show I watched. Didn't watch NXT. Might not watch NXT. But, yeah, we were in Cincinnati, Ohio, the hometown of the AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley. And overall, I gotta be honest with you, I thought the show was awesome. It was a great show. Very storyline driven. A lot of characters being developed, which is what I love. The best segment out of the entire night, by far, was that promo with MJF and William Regal. Holy shite! Unbelievable work. MJF continues to show me that this dude ain't no fucking joke. He is easily one of the best talents today in all of wrestling. He can make you hate him, but if he really, really, really wanted to, he can also make you love him. It's an art for him. It's an art form to him. So everything that they did with him tonight even got me questioning, like, did he just turn babyface? Because of that promo with William Regal, where he essentially talked about being rejected from WWE, because those of you who don't know, yes, MJF used to, well, at one point in time, was in the Performance Center, did try out for WWE, did go to the PC, used to go there, used to work there, not full time, but he would do some stuff for the NXT shows. He was a guard for a match, forgot which match it was. And everything he said about William Regal, trying to get him a job, keeping him amongst the talent, seeing if he could get in, working with Triple H and others to get him a job, all that's real. I was wondering when it was going to come up that he was rejected by WWE and AEW picked him up. Well, I'm happy they finally integrated that into his character on TV, because that's essential to who he is. And it led for a great promo with him and William Regal, comparing and contrasting how they came up. People forget that Regal is a legend in everything. Excellent promo worker, excellent in-ring technician. One of those guys you just have to question, why was he never a world champion? Well, he was supposed to be in 2008. They were going to make him a world champion. Then he failed the drug policy, and it was downhill. He was never the same after that. But, man, this was so good. It was so good. MJF just fit right in there with Regal. And it led to that awesome ending where it looked like he was going to cash in the chip, Money in the Bank style. He was going to cash in on a weakened Moxley and clearly win the championship. But then he thought, nah, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to cash in the chip, challenge you at Full Gear. I want to beat you 110%. So there's no question that I'm the best wrestler in the world. Wow. It looks like he turned babyface. I don't trust it. I just don't.
First off and most importantly, prayers for Stephen Woltz aka Adam Page. Second off, MJF needs to beat Mox at Full Gear.
I think that's a foregone conclusion. We all know MJF is walking out as champ. I think the only reason they gave Moxley this belt is to get MJF over, which is what he's going to do. I do think Moxley is deserving of a vacation, which I think he was supposed to get. He was supposed to have a vacation, and then the stuff with Punk and Omega happened. Omega, the Young Bucks, and Punk. And that just threw everything out of whack. But I'm happy I mentioned them because AEW was kind enough to mention them too. If you haven't been paying attention throughout the night, commentary did in fact mention Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. They acknowledged them as the inaugural AEW Trios champions. And also, Punk was mentioned as well. He was mentioned in the vignette, but they didn't even talk about them for a while, which is an indication that maybe an investigation has been concluded, which means we'll be talking about that very, very soon. What the results of it is, what's getting ready to happen. I'm hoping, and again, we'll find out soon. I am hoping that all sides, all parties just shake hands, come together, and make some money off of this. When Punk comes back, the first feud he should be involved in is a feud with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Like, to me, that matters more than Punk being an AEW World Champion. Fuck it. AEW World Championship doesn't really matter to me. Not right now when it comes to CM Punk. He's already a 2-time champ. He's good. And then he can play off the fact that he would never have a legitimate run. Or has never, or probably will never have a legitimate run. But, you know, that can be his thing. I am the champ that never got a run with it. So you can always go back to that well with Punk. Same thing with Omega and the Young Bucks when it comes to the trios titles. So you can always go back to that as well. But yeah, if they're being mentioned, more than likely things have kind of calmed down on the investigation. But when the story hits, there will definitely be a lie for that. So look for that this week, because I'm expecting that to drop very soon. I think Dalton Castle is a star. That goes without saying. He's always been a star. Even when he was in Ring of Honor, he was a star. But he shined so much tonight. We got some development with Death Triangle. Pac tried to cheat again, but Ray Phoenix stopped him. Ray Phoenix told Pac, nah, man, we're not going to use no hammers. It's not hammer time. We're not DC Hammer. Sorry. But, yeah, there's definitely something brewing between those guys. Hikaru Shida took on Toni Storm, and we'll talk about Toni Storm's comments to Thunder Rosa during that segment. We'll also talk about what looks to be a developing feud between Jay Lethal and Darby Allin and Sting. That would be very nice to see. Renee Paquette, I gotta start saying that right too. she's been doing an excellent job with these interviews. She did an interview with Danielson, Bryan Danielson, and Wheeler Yuta, which could leave hope for a Daniel Garcia turn down the line. Which I'm still, I don't know. I wanna keep hope alive that AEW did not screw that up, but we'll see. We'll definitely see when it comes to that. Yeah, and then anything else that I see, we'll definitely talk about. So please sit tight and stay tuned for me to get to that. Let's go ahead and pay these bills. Let's get these things out the way. I know you guys had to sit through a freaking 15-minute countdown, which I promised my artists that I would do. Every time you get those 15-minute countdowns, it's not because I want to do it. It's donations to me. And I would like to keep, this channel in good standing with the people who donate these songs to me. Just like I want to keep my sponsors happy. And of course, let people know how to support the channel. So we'll get the preliminary stuff out the way, and then we'll get to AEW Dynamite. But I'll make it quick, I promise. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all of my content when it comes out. While you're at it, help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership today. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing. Whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or review past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks if you would like to donate after the fact. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, just Alex Central. Also, give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi, and please get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Deluxe Band t-shirt. Get you a new school Alex's World t-shirt, but most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie. My America, the remix. God, that was high. T-shirt made by It's J Knox and Firestar Heart. Ugh. All this down below in the description box. And today's sponsor is Audible. If you are someone that likes to listen to books on the go, if you're jogging and you like podcasts, Audible is the place for you. And I have a way to get you Audible for free. So how's about we get a quick word from our sponsor, and then we'll get to some shoutouts. Today's video is sponsored by Audible. Audible is the leading provider of audiobooks. They have over 180,000 audiobooks to choose from, including books written by wrestling legends like Chris Jericho, Mick Foley, Bryan Danielson, Drew McIntyre, and Jim Ross. Today, if you visit www.audibletrial.com, just Alex, you can get one free audiobook of your choosing. Audible is the best place for audiobooks, and I cannot recommend it enough. In my time, I've listened to Chris Jericho's The Best in the World and Bryan Danielson's Yes books, both narrated by them personally. And here's the best part. Even if your membership wears out or you just aren't satisfied with the product, you can cancel your free trial at any time, and your audiobooks are yours to keep. So again, go to audibletrial.com, just Alex, and begin your journey today. All right, welcome everybody. I am looking at, I think, over 100 people. Yes, over 100 people live right now. Thank y'all for the kind words in the live chat. Everybody's showing support for Hangman Page. Keep it up. I think that is, that's a great indication that this channel is a safe space for wrestling fans, because even the wrestling fans are, for the most part, they're kind-hearted. We do have a couple of jerks. We do have a couple of trolls, but who doesn't? But I pride myself on having some of the best fans in existence. So thank you guys so much for continuing to support the channel. I hope you guys, of course, and there's a troll right there already. Didn't even wait 2 seconds. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, I hope you guys do take the time to like the video, because the more you like the video, the more opportunities I will have to be recommended here on YouTube. And I do want my message, what I had to say about Hangman Page, I do want that to be heard and seen by as many people as possible. Because this isn't about clicks, this isn't about whether you guys subscribe and whatever the hell. Listen, people need to understand that this shit What happens to Hangman Page, it happens often, but it's a part of the business. And when it happens, we as fans need to be grateful and understand that these guys are doing this for our entertainment. They don't have to be here. They don't have to put their bodies on the line. So when they do, come on.
Was at Dynamite tonight. After the show, talked to a arena staffer I know. He said they came over to his radio, get the medical staff to the ring.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy situation for everyone involved. So yeah, guys, let's be grateful for these men and women who do what we do, whether it's in WWE or AEW. This isn't the time for anybody to be making this some stupid war between WWE and AEW. I'm at the point now where, especially tonight, moderators, if you see it, block them. If you see people in the live chat coming in and they're trying to use this situation to attack AEW, to put anyone down, block them. You have my permission to go all out, block them. We're going to keep this a safe space tonight. There is no timeout, fuck the timeout bullshit. If you see it, block them. No trolls tonight. No trolls. Show some love to the moderators, by the way. Show some love to the White Knights of Alex's World. I like that. The White Knights of Alex's World. Ultra, Shadow Knights, Seven Fires to Heart, Elias, Demi, and Godzilla Hawk. We'll keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Be sure you also take a look at Raw Cognizant. Sorry, I'm just reading. I'm legitimately just trying to be sure that there's nothing else I need to talk about. I'm doing 10,000 things at once, guys. So it doesn't look like we got any more updates on Hangman Page. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that throughout the night. And y'all can tell me in the live chat. Yeah, check out Raw Cognizance, my podcast. We'll be taking a break this upcoming week to work out some details, but this next upcoming episode, my friend Sophia, my partner in crime, Sophia, will be doing a special by herself, bringing in some people to talk about Halloween, the Halloween franchise. They are very passionate about that, and they want to do an entire episode about it. I hope things work out for them. I hope that's going to be a great episode. I'm expecting that to be great. Let me go ahead and do these shout outs really quickly. Super chats are on. You can donate at any point during these shout outs. So let me go ahead and get things going here. Thank you to the following people who are here. Saying hello to Hades, Sam3, Jojo, Big MGM, prayers for Paige. I agree, man. Prayers for Paige. Again, show some love to the moderators. Elias Demi, Firestar Heart, Ultra Shadow, Higurashi. He's not a moderator, but show him some love too. Christian Quales. Christian Quales. Hopefully I said your name right. I don't think I did, though. I apologize. The Tribal Chief. Khalil does everything. Everything. Thanks for being here, man. Sorry. Usually I come with the you understand why I can't do that. Well, I'm not in the mindset to do that right now. Valhalla Erickson. Gen X 6887. Nelly Nell. Billy. Robert Brown. We also got Rick Rosar, Nithrax, The Cerebral Assassin, Christopher Carter. I think I saw Mr. Anthony White. There he is. Zero the Hero. What happened? Was studying. A lot happened, bro. Your boy Hangman Page cowboy shit was down. But hopefully he's not out. Devin Miller, good to have you here. Haven't seen you in a while. The phenomenal WWE biggest AJ Styles fan. That is a big name, but welcome. John Bill II, Jack King. I believe I saw Troy Williams. Yes. A for Animations. That's a new one. Welcome, A for Animations. Thank you for being here. Do you do animations? I'm very curious. That Deku Fan OFA, Deadpool Party. That's a new one. Love the name, by the way, Deadpool Party. Let's do a couple more. Paid Enthusiasts, good to have you. Sick Gamer 5, Kurt Luttrell, and let's give the last one to Barack Obama. Awesome. The 44th president, ladies and gentlemen, Barack Obama. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. If I don't say your name, it's not because I hate you. I do want to go ahead and get to this review here. There's a great show that we should talk about. I thought Dynamite did a great job tonight. I thought it was a return to form. For the while, you know what? Hold on. Before I even get into that, let me check one last time on Twitter to be sure I don't. Again, I'm going to be doing this throughout the entire night. Okay, doesn't look like we have any more updates. Okay. Oh, hold up. No. Okay, Sean Ross Sapp just reported. Something really quickly. Give me a sec. Yes, we do got some more updates. Alright, let me read this really quickly. It's not going to be... It's not a big update, but it's something. Sean Ross Sapp reports AEW sources indicated that Hangman Page was taken to a local hospital to be checked out. Here's to hoping the best for him. That's what he typed. The end of Dynamite was said to be improvised, as you can imagine. So, essentially what you saw with MJF and Jon Moxley was completely off script. They just improv that, which was... It shows you that AEW can do it when it's necessary, so that's good. But yeah, right now he's in the hospital. I don't know what his condition is, but I'm hoping by the end of the night we can bring you some good news. Okay, let me oh wow. Black Adam debuted at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. The fuck? They gave Black Adam 50%? Nah, it can't be that bad. There's no way. It was that bad. 50%? Alright, we'll talk more about that later then, because that sounds like BS. This is from the critics, by the way, not the fans. Anyways, alright, Dynamite. Let's get to Dynamite. So, Cincinnati, Ohio. I thought tonight's show was a return to form. It was a return to the storytelling old school AEW. I call it old school. It was a return to the AEW I love, where characters were developed, stories were being told. It wasn't just matches for the sake of matches. The show felt like it had a direction, and it had a purpose, and it had a plan. And every segment, it did something. It did something new. It set up a lot of things, and I'm excited to see where everything is going. I thought the crowd tonight, although not sold out, was pretty energetic. I'm not too sure if it's audio issues, production quality problems, but the crowd at times felt muffled. There were times when they were loud and you could hear them, but then there were times it was like they were muffled. Was it because they were doing chants and they didn't want them, to be heard audibly? I don't know how that works, but that might be a production issue, and hopefully AEW fixes that, because that's not good. You should never have an issue with your crowd. That's the last thing that should be messed with when it comes to your shows. It's good to have good commentary. Those of you who saw my rant on Raw with Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves. Man, the commentary on this show is like almost night and day when it comes to the commentary on Raw. It's ridiculous. But Excalibur did an excellent job with Tony Schiavone and Taz. As you know, Jim Ross is now doing Rampage because Rampage is live, and they're trying to get eyes on Rampage, which is why they're putting Jim Ross on Fridays. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but let's see if it actually turns out to be good for the overall run of the show. Especially if Rampage is going to go live for the foreseeable future. All right, let's just get into it. I'm not going to go in order. Like, I just kind of want to just hit the spots that mattered and then get out of your way. Because I'm too distracted by what's happening on Twitter right now to really go into detail or give you a play-by-play. I just kind of want to just draw within the circle. You know what I mean? So let's just get to it. They opened up with the Trios Championships, and as I said before, they mentioned Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks being the inaugural Trios Champions. So if they're mentioning them, the investigation either is done or on the verge of concluding. So, to me, I'm not the only person that feels this way. But losing Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, when it first happened, I thought it would have hurt AEW a lot more than it did. I'm happy to say the show is doing just fine without them. I don't know how that looks or makes them look, but it does make me feel good that AEW can stand on its own 2 feet when they lose top stars like Omega, the Young Bucks, CM Punk. And these are major names. Don't get it twisted. These are massive stars. Literally, AEW was built off the backs of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. There would be no AEW without them. So the fact that we're at a point with AEW that they can leave, be gone for whatever reason, and the show keep going, still draw viewers, still not necessarily sell out arenas, but people still watch, great. Great sign. Hopefully they do come back soon. I'm assuming they go after the Trios Championships, of course. The belts they never lost. The roster could use them. I'm ready for them to come back. We'll talk about CM Punk in a second, but yeah, it's good to know that we can talk about Omega and the Young Bucks now. Trios Championships were on the line between Death Triangle, Orange Cassidy, and Best Friends. Love that we're continuing the hate between Pac, not Page. My bad. I'm getting names mixed up now because I'm just thinking about Page all night. Pac and Orange Cassidy. Love that Pac went right after Cassidy because he's not trying to play games. He wants his title back. The story of this match, of course, first off, the match was fast-paced. Love that. It was fast-paced from beginning to end. Even during the commercial break, a lot was happening. But I love it. I love that we can do those type of matches with AEW. The story of the match, of course, is Pac tried to cheat again. He went to the announcer desk, got the hammer. That's his gimmick now. He wants to use the hammer. But Phoenix stopped him. Ray Phoenix said, nah, we don't need to cheat, bro. We can win this match clean. Watch us. And that's what they did. Ray Phoenix gets the pin on Chuck Taylor with the, was it the Blue Thunder? It wasn't Blue Thunder Bomb. What is it called? What do they call those finishers again? It's the Phoenix Driver. It was another name. The same finisher that Rikishi used. Fire Thunder Driver? I don't know. Whatever. Phoenix Driver. How about that? He hit him with the Phoenix Driver. No, it was Trent Beretta he pinned, not Chuck Taylor. He pinned Trent Beretta to retain the title. And then he went over to Pac. And he had words with him. Like, see? Bro, we don't need to cheat. Some dissension. We got some dissension now with Death Triangle. Cool. Good. Personally, I as much as I have been enjoying Death Triangle, it might be time to split them up. It might be time to do something different with them. I'm ready for our boys, Lucha Bros, to go on their own. Death Triangle has been pretty good. I'm not hating on it. They've seen some success, as they should have. And Pac was a 2-time champ, and I love the story of it getting to his head. Now that he finally has gold, and not just gold, but he had 2 belts at one time, you can see him cracking. So of course he's cheating, because he wants to maintain that status. And now he's gotten used to it. He loves it. That's why he keeps doing it. But it's causing a rift in Death Triangle. Oh my god, storytelling, it just makes the product so much better. So now you want to watch to see what happens. Because now there's some dissension between Ray Phoenix and, of course, Pac. Where will that lead? Now we have a reason to watch their matches because there's a story developing there. We get back from a commercial break. We see Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with Jamie Hayter and Rebel. Don't call me Rebel Reba. And during the segment, basically, and we'll talk about it in just a second, DMD says she's disgusted that neither she nor Jamie Hayter are the interim champs. But Jamie Hayter made a promise that one of them will be champion before the end of the year. And Britt stops her and says, no, one of us will be the real AEW World Champion. She had to get in that shot to Thunder Rosa. Well, I mean, she's not the only one taking a shot at Thunder Rosa, though. So, as I said before, Toni Storm has been against this interim championship thing for... And you know what? It's not even just Toni Storm. Jon Moxley was against it. Honestly, I'm against it. I understand it. The mindset is, well, you're not the champion until you beat the real champion. Thunder Rosa wasn't beat for the title, so she remains champ, right? So therefore, until you beat the real champ, you're not champ. But the issue with that is, well, here's Toni Storm defending the belt, legitimately defending the belt, and she's here. People acknowledge her as a champ, people see her as a champ, but we can't call her the champ because she hasn't beaten Thunder Rosa. Personally, if I'm being real with you, we don't need them to do the interim championship after this. Let this be the last one. When Thunder Rosa comes back, she has her match with Toni Storm. Thunder Rosa loses or she wins, whatever. No more interim championships. I'm saying that right now. And I'm going to tweet that. Make that the tweet. No more interim championships. Let Toni Storm be the last one. If they're hurt, you drop the belt. Sorry. Sucks. I know. But sorry. I can't for the life of me. I can't really get behind this. It doesn't feel right. Toni Storm is in there busting her ass, having a great run. And it's hard to really invest into it because I'm always reminded that she's not the real champ. She's not the real champ. Thunder Rosa is. And that's hurting her momentum. Not her fault. But that's what happens when you have an interim champion. No one truly buys into you being a champion until the real one comes back. And Thunder Rosa, I love her, and I always will. Still want that interview. Everyone's kind of, I won't say they're turned off by her right now, but it doesn't help that she's being seen as this dark cloud over the division, just holding things back because she's not here. I mean, that's the same thing with CM Punk. He was gone while Jon Moxley was defending the belt. And people were like, well, CM Punk shouldn't be champion. Jon Moxley is. And that made people actually turn against CM Punk. Same thing with Thunder Rosa. So let this be it. The next person that gets hurt, no more interim champions. That's what I'm going to say. Hikaru Shida took on Toni Storm for the title. Match was good. There were a couple of moments in there it looked sloppy, but I guess that's going to happen when you have... I don't know. I think Hikaru Shida would have been better to work with than any of the other Joshi wrestlers. But Toni Storm, she worked overseas, so it shouldn't even be a problem. It was okay. It was fine. What matters is Toni Storm won. She defeated Hikaru Shida. Then afterwards, DMD, Dr. Britt Baker, and Toni Storm hit the ring. Start attacking Toni Storm. Did I say, oops? Toni Storm attacked herself. Let me try that again. Dr. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, I'm sorry, hit the ring and start attacking Toni Storm. There we go. Paige comes out. Music hits. And this was one of the first time I went, why does everything sound muffled? I would expect that to be a massive pop. Maybe there was, and it just didn't sound right. But Paige comes out, and she starts attacking Britt Baker. And those of you who don't know, Paige has been cleared. She has officially been cleared to wrestle. So I'm assuming we're going to do a match between her and Britt Baker at Full Gear. Can't wait for that. That's going to be dope. Meanwhile, Jamie Hayter is still attacking Toni Storm. And then Riho shows up. Riho shows up to a big pop. I heard that one. And she attacks Jamie Hayter and Reba. And yeah, it's Toni Storm and Riho standing inside the ring. I'm assuming that's going to be a match before we get to the pay-per-view. I think the pay-per-view, if it's not Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm, which I'm assuming is the plan, I don't know how bad I don't even know how bad Thunder Rosa's back injury is. Because if it's, and here's my thing. if it's an interim championship run, she can't be gone that long. Because if she's going to be out for 6 months, you need to strip her of the belt. But I was told that she would be back by Full Gear, which is what I'm expecting to be the match. Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm. No updates yet on if that's the case, but we're only a month away, so let's see what things turn out to be. Apparently, Thunder Rosa's fine. She's out and about, walking. I think she's been training, so she actually might be back sooner than later. But in case she's not, I guess the match to do is Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm, right? Right? I hope so. I would love for Jamie Hayter. Quite frankly, and I'm going to say this right now. If they give Jamie Hayter a championship match, she should win. I love Toni Storm. Jamie Hayter is much more over. Jamie Hayter has the crowd behind her. People are cheering for her. I am a Jamie Hayter. Call me a hater, because I love me some Jamie Hayter. And the thick-ass Jamie Hayter. Anyways, I don't know what I was getting ready to say there. Sorry, I stopped myself. But yeah, like that should definitely, without question, be the match if Thunder Rosa can't come back. But I'm assuming Thunder Rosa will be back. I'm hearing that she should be fine and ready to go by Full Gear. So we'll see. We'll see how things turn out when it comes to that. All right, let's move on. Let's move on with the rest of the show. And it's actually nice to finally have feuds going again for the women's championship. Well, not for the women's championship, the women's division. Because that was one of my issues. It's like not only were the women not getting TV time, we weren't really developing any feuds. Now we're getting feuds back into the division. It helps to have Saraya there, but Saraya, oh my God. Saraya, I'm all over the place tonight. Saraya. So that's going to be nice. As of right now, I think we have 3 feuds going. We have Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill, which I'm assuming is going to go to Full Gear. It's a cheap storyline, but it's a storyline regardless. She stole her belt. All right, sure. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's the greatest storyline in the world, but it's something. Whatever. Fine. Nyla Rose versus Jade Cargill at Full Gear. That actually sounds good. I'm not even going to lie to you. That could be a good-ass match. So we got that. We got Saraya versus DMD, Britt Baker, and now, again, whoever's going after that women's championship. I'm assuming it's Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm, but it might be Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm. Whatever the case, that's 3 feuds. Good. I love that. I love that we're showcasing more feuds, more stories in the women's division. That's a good step in the right direction. Oh my God, thank the Lord we finally addressed this. Renee Paquette, I'm just botching names tonight, singing prayers to Hangman Page. Renee Paquette is backstage interviewing FTR. And they finally acknowledge that it's time to win the AEW tag team titles. It's time. We've been number 1 for months now. And here come Keith Lee and, of course, his partner, Swerve Strickland. And they basically tell him, nah, y'all not getting the next shot. Fuck y'all. We were screwed. They were. We deserve another title shot. They do. And so FTR, they have a plan. Next week, whoever wins gets a shot at the Acclaims at FTW Championship. Sure. Nah. The AEW Tag Team titles at Full Gear. Sweet. More than likely, I'm expecting, and I hope this is the case, I think FTR and Swerve in Our Glory will go to a no contest. Because I think what will happen is we'll get another triple threat match. We've been doing a lot of triple threat tag matches. Anyone else feel that? A lot of triple threat tag matches for those tag team titles. But I'm expecting that to go to a no contest. We might, and this is what I feel might actually happen. We might just go ahead and have FTR win and then split up Keith and Swerve and do that match instead. You know what? The more I think about it, Yeah, they might go ahead and just give it to FTR. Let FTR win here. They'll fight Acclaimed at the pay-per-view. Oh man, that means Acclaimed are gonna have a very short. Yeah, that was gonna happen. Look, it doesn't matter who wins next week, whether it's Swerve, FTR, or no contest. The Acclaimed were always destined to have a short title reign. I'm sorry. I'm happy we established them as a legitimate tag team, as one of the most over acts in wrestling today. Thank you. But no, don't be upset that their title reign is short. Okay? They had their moment. That's what matters. Quite frankly, I don't see them working out as a long-term tag team championship team. It's like Too Cool. Too Cool at one point were tag team champs. That's Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexy. They won the tag team titles for like a very short time. Then they lost those belts. Those of you don't know that, but yeah, Too Cool were tag team champs. I'm sure they were at one point in time. But it's okay. You don't have to be long-term champions. You don't. See, now I have to look it up because I might be lying to y'all. I'm almost certain. I'm almost certain they were tag team champs. Let me look it up. Too Cool WWE tag team champs. Too Cool was a professional wrestling tag team that competed in 1999 to 2021. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I was right. They were tag team champs. I was like, they did win those titles. I know they did. They won the WWF tag team titles, Scotty 2 Hotty and Sexy, one time. And then Rikishi and Scotty won the tag team titles. So, because I was like, I'm certain they were tag team champs. But yes, they did in fact win the titles. Let me actually see when they won those titles. Blah 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 blah. You know what? I'll do this research later. I just wanted to bring this up to make it clear that it is okay to have short reigns with certain people to maintain the momentum. So yeah, I'm absolutely 1000% okay with the Acclaim having a short title reign. I do think FTR versus Swerve in Our Glory is the match to do anyways. Can I be real? I was kind of hoping that would be the match for... That should have been the match for Full Gear anyways. Swerve in Our Glory versus FTR. When they announced it, I was like, this is a pay-per-view match. They're just giving this away for free. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Why are we giving this away for free? And there's a story there. FTR is literally the best tag team in the world. I don't give a shit what you say. They are the best tag team in the world. They're missing that one set of titles. They have the ROH titles, the AAA titles, the New Japan Pro Wrestling IWGP titles. That's a mouthful. Now they just need the AEW World titles, tag team world titles, to be legitimately the best tag team in the world. And then we can end the year saying that they're the best tag team in 2022, which we will. I'm calling it now. FTR walk out of Full Gear as tag team champs. It doesn't matter who it is, but they are walking out as your tag team champs, as they should. But I'm excited about that match next week. I think that's going to be a great, great match and a great lead into the pay-per-view. Again, storytelling is back. Because during the promo, Shane Strickland, Swerve, was all like, the fuck, why should we give you guys a shot? You didn't want the titles before. And then, of course, Keith Lee was like, okay then, well, how about this? We fight next week, the winners get a shot next week. I mean, get a shot at Full Gear. And then they were like, you know what, indubitably. I give up. I give up. I can't say it. Only he can say it. Indubitably. Oh, there it is. I'm proud of myself. But I love how when Keith agreed to it, Swerve was like, the fuck? Why? Just little things like that. Swerve is becoming more and more of a heel, and I like it. We got a segment backstage where Jay Lethal beat up Darby Allin. Apparently, this is leading to a tag match with Sting. Excited about that. I do wonder if Jay Lethal is going to challenge Chris Jericho for that ROH World Championship eventually, because he is a former world champion. At this time, William Regal comes out. He's being interviewed by Toni Schiavone. And as you know, anytime Toni Schiavone is inside the ring, someone has got to interrupt him. Only this time, it was MJF. So MJF interrupt him. Someone just told me, yes, Too Cool did beat Edge and Christian in 2000 with help from Joe C. Oh. Ah. Okay. Thanks for that. But, yeah. Back to this. MJF interrupts him. Gets a big pop from the crowd. He gets in the ring. And he tells William Regal, put them brass knucks away. I just want to talk. He wants to tell a story. And William is going to listen no matter what. No matter how long it is. Because he owes him that. MJF asks Cincinnati to bear with him too. And he begins. He says he was 19 and training. And he got pulled aside by his trainers, Pat Buck and Brian Myers. And they said, congrats to your hard work, because it has paid off. He got some extra work with WWE. As you guys know, he was one of the bodyguards in one of the NXT shows. I think it was a takeover. It was for Samoa Joe, I think. I can't remember, but he was a bodyguard for NXT at some point. It may not have sounded like much, but it was an opportunity, and he packed his gear and his best suit and drove off to it. And during this time, he talks about working with NXT, WWE's Performance Center. And he and the other extras lined up, and Regal told them they were going to have a pre-show tryout match. Pre-show tryout matches. They were set against random opponents. MJF was set to go second, and the onlookers were as follows: Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko, Adam Pearce, William Regal. The first match locked up, and then Dean rang the bell and told them to get out. Max was shaking like a leaf, and he knew he wasn't fighting for a contract. He was fighting for his life, because professional wrestling is his life. When the match was over, he was soaking wet, victorious, and the coaches looked at him like he had 8 heads. Regal led him into a room and told him he has 3 minutes to sell him on himself. To sell Regal on himself. And he did. By the time he was done talking, Regal's jaw was on the floor, and he'll never forget what Regal said. Kid, I'm going to get you a job today. And then he realized he'd never be looked at as a 5'0". I'm trying to get this right, because he worded it so weird. He says he realized he'd never be looked at as a 5'0", ad-riddled Jew boy. ADD-riddled Jew boy. He was gone. He was going to be a WWE superstar. He was going to be something special. He was finally going to achieve his dream. And then William Regal told him, sorry, you're too young. 19 is too young. He gave him hope. And said if he puts his name on somebody that they get signed. Sorry, let me try that again. I'm just off today. He gave MJF hope, and MJF was told by Regal, anytime Regal puts his name on somebody, they get signed. Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley. When you become of age, I'll personally put my name on you. But until then, I want you to work your ass off and send me a match and a promo every month, which is what he did. He busted his ass. Regal replied for 2 months, and then month 3, he sends Max a promo that he's read every single day since. And he's going to read it live. This is when, to me, the promo went to the next level. It's a letter where Regal told him to stop sending videos of his acting skills. And unfortunately, the game has changed. And WWE only hires top-class athletes. And when you're one of them, send your stuff. That's the email he sent to a child with a dream. and it was squashed. Max gets choked up. Like, he's showing sympathy. And the crowd's buying into it. They're eating this up. This is an awesome story. Like, he's never really introduced, well, I'm pretty sure most of you knew about this beforehand, but it's never been introduced as a story for AEW, not canon-wise. Yeah, he was rejected by WWE. That's usually how it goes for all the best in the world. They were always rejected at first. And now he gets choked up talking about how he wanted to quit wrestling and quit his life. He wanted to kill himself. He was suicidal. And then he realized that if he did, Regal and all the naysayers would win. And he couldn't have that. Now here they are, and the tables have turned. It's 2022, and Regal is just a sad, withered old man who got fired. And now he's stuck into his company. And now he's snuck into his company like a flea-bitten rat, sucking onto talents far better than he's ever been, like a succubus. And MJF is 26, and a generational talent who his former employers would be willing to kill in the bidding war of 2024. He wants Regal to look at him nice and good, and reads the email every day whenever he needs a good, hearty laugh, because that's when he becomes nothing more than a joke. He called William Regal a joke, whereas Max is about to become the AEW World Champion of the AEW World Champion, because his name is Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and he's better than you, and you know it. So before I get to William Regal, I had to read that promo. This to me, like a lot of stuff, with MJF, this to me was the indication that this guy cannot go to WWE. I feel like AEW would be making a very big mistake letting him leave. You better do what you gotta do to keep him happy. He is one of the best performers in the world. You would look like a dumbass letting him go to WWE. This promo was all I needed to see. To know that, yeah, you know what? MJF can work as a babyface. That was one of my biggest issues, because I'm like, he's a great heel, but that's it. I don't think he can ever be a face. But after hearing this promo, you know what? Yeah, never mind. He can work as a face. Most certainly can work as a face. Oh my god. It's incredible to me. Like, it's mind-boggling how sympathetic he was. Great work. Like, one of the best promoists. One of the best promoists. For real. Let me see here. Yeah, man, I thought that promo was great. It was so good the crowd was booing William Regal at first. But let me tell y'all something. I love the fact that even though the crowd was booing Regal, he stayed calm, he stayed collected, and by the end of the promo, he was able to turn the crowd on his side. We forget that Regal is an excellent promoist too. So Regal gets on the microphone and he responds, saying he had to fight grown men at 16 to break into the industry. He saw exactly what he saw then now. He sees somebody who he knows is going to be a big star, and he wanted to light a fire under him. And we live in a world where you can't be a teenager getting smashed by huge men. If a bloody email is what it took to get MJF here, and he held on to that for 7 years, he's had it easy. Sunshine. And that's exactly it. He had it easy. They spent several times together They spent several times together that MJF needs to practice they've said several times that MJF needs to practice promos. Talk every time he brushes his teeth, so that when you pick up a microphone, people listen. Okay. He sees what an incredible talent he is. Before MJF was born, he was insulting Mr. Schiavone and beating up people, but he never put a hand on Tony because he's a decent villain, and he knows Schiavone isn't part of the game. He knew Max had it in him, but he's let him down because he's taken shortcuts. He hasn't proven anything yet. Just because he's getting paid lots of money, that doesn't prove anything. He pays people money and uses the ring because he needs them. and Regal uses the Nux just because he likes them. MJF has to cheat to be successful. William Regal doesn't need to cheat. He just likes to cheat. Max Mel wants to be the devil. Do it right. Be everybody that stands in front of you. Take whatever liberties you want. But if you want to be the devil, show the world. Regal turns around. Maxwell gets the ring on. Teases that he's going to hit him. Then he does it. Regal smiles. Turns around with a sad nod. Telling MJF he still has a lot to prove. The reason I had to give you the details on that, because I thought this was one of the best segments AEW has done all year. This was excellent. This was phenomenal. This to me was a healthy reminder of how great AEW is. Still is. People forgot that this company at one point in time was the best wrestling show in the world. That might not be the case now because WWE is clearly far superior in many ways, thanks to Triple H and company. But AEW is still a monster when it needs to be. This was a segment that I would think would remind people that this is still the second best, or at least the alternative to WWE. So this was great. Two masters of the microphone telling their stories and getting me even more excited for Jon Moxley and MJF. Oh, that match is gonna be so goddamn awesome. The first time they did it, it was good, but it wasn't like, ugh. You know, it wasn't like, oh my god. It was kind of cheesy, if I'm honest with you. Now, I'm excited now. And see, I can mention them now because they did. I have to wonder what this would have been like if CM Punk didn't do what he did. Well, if he didn't get hurt, too. If Punk was healthy, what would this be like? I'm very curious to know where the crowd would be if Punk was here and MJF cut that promo. Something to think about. Because MJF, I don't think he'd be where he is if he didn't work with Punk. Let's just call it like it is. The reason why he's even as over as he is because of his work with CM Punk. So back from commercial break, Renee Paquette interviews American Dragon Bryan Danielson, and Danielson says he had high hopes for Daniel Garcia. Not so much being the next American Dragon, but he could be the next great technical wrestler. But Yuta is like, what the hell is wrong with you? Me and Claudio saw this coming from a mile away. We knew Daniel Garcia would turn on you. You're the only person that thought he was worth a damn. He was using you. Clearly was using you, Danielson. And he felt Danielson was bleeding BCC. He felt like this meant something, but now he's thinking that maybe Danielson isn't really a part of the Blackpool Combat Club as we thought he would be. It means something to Mox. It means something to Claudio. But I guess he shouldn't have met his hero, because it doesn't mean anything to Danielson. Wow. Yeah, like, Danielson seeing a piece of himself in Daniel Garcia has caused a rift in the BCC. Again, storytelling. Developments and characters. This is important. Danielson is allowing his ambitions to get the best of him. Daniel Garcia clearly isn't who we thought he was. So, hearing this makes me think the "you're a wrestler" storyline isn't dead yet. Maybe it's just on hiatus for now, and maybe we'll get back to it, but we'll see. Ring of Honor World Championship, Dalton Castle versus Chris Jericho. I'll keep it quick. Great match. Dalton Castle is a star. Massive hit with the crowd. Loved his entrance. I hope they sign what he's already signed. No, I think he's signed. Last I checked, he was a free agent. But with the entrance that he got, I'm thinking he's signed. If he isn't, sign him. Now. Today. Should have signed him yesterday. Phenomenal. Every way, every step, every shape and form, he is one of the best talents they got. Love his character. Loved his entrance. Loved everything he does with the boys. The boys. Such a great personality. And he's good inside the ring. Yes. Do not let him go to WWE, please. That would be stupid. He's amazing. Dalton Castle is a great pickup for anybody. And he had a good match, great match with Chris Jericho. I don't like that Chris Jericho beat him clean. I thought the story was Chris Jericho was going to cheat. I didn't like that he beat him clean. Sorry, like it's... I thought the whole purpose is, alright, Chris Jericho is going to beat every single Ring of Honor former world champion dirty. He's going to just completely piss all over the honor of Ring of Honor. Right? So, that was the story, and they didn't do that here. He beat Dalton Castle clean. I don't like that. But whatever. So Chris Jericho, afterwards, cuts a promo with the Jericho Appreciation Society. He said he's going to desecrate the legacy of Ring of Honor, and he is. Ring of Honor champs, out. Ring of Honor announcers, done. Even Ring of Honor commentators. We did have a guest commentator for this match. He tried to attack the commentator. Then Jerry Lynn ran out. And I said to myself, there's no way Jerry fucking Lynn can still go. We're going to do Jerry Lynn versus Chris Jericho? Let me tell y'all something. One of my favorite series of matches from ECW was the series between Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam. If you have not seen any of those matches, if you have not seen Jerry Lynn take on Rob Van Dam at any point in time, you have homework. I invite you to go to the network, the Peacock, WWE Network bullshit, whatever you want to call it. Go to Peacock. Search ECW Jerry Lynn versus Rob Van Dam. You can even do it on YouTube. Find it. I don't care where you get it from. Find it. Watch it. You will thank me. Those matches were fucking amazing. They were amazing. Amazing. Please go watch it. But yeah, I'm excited to see that match. So essentially, Chris Jericho is going to fight all the former world ROH champions, right? So this can go for a while. Because he still has to do Jay Lethal. He can't do Cody. Imagine that. Cody came back. Nah. Can't do Tyler Black. That'd be nice too. Can't do CM Punk. He can probably do Austin Aries. We'll see. Austin Aries? Davey Richards? Don't do Davey Richards. Let's not do that. Jay Lethal will definitely do that. Jonathan Gresham. Psych. So you can put the crowd to sleep. Anyways. After this was the main event. Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley. We already talked about that. Ended with a KO finish. That was not planned. Hangman Page was knocked out after taking a King Kong lariat from Jon Moxley, landing on his neck. They stretchered him out. There is an update. People are telling me that an update was reported, so let me see. Let me see here. What is the update? Okay. Yes, this is from AEW. AEW has put out a medical update, so let's read it really, really, really quickly. Give me a second. Hangman Page was taken tonight by medical personnel to a Cincinnati trauma center and diagnosed with a concussion. He was discharged, but will remain in AEW's concussion protocol. Okay. AEW and Hangman Page are grateful for the exemplary response and care of staff and local medical personnel, and are appreciative of the love and support of fans everywhere. Okay, well there you go. That's good. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, from Sean Ross Sapp. Those that we've heard from say that Hangman Page is responsive and stable. Will leave additional health updates to Page himself or AEW. Okay. Oh, okay. Good news. Great news. There you go. Whew. Okay. Well, that's a big relief. Big relief. Hangman Page is doing fine. I mean, he's not okay, but again, like the best case scenario in this situation is that he got a concussion and didn't suffer any paralysis. You know, like many others before him. You know. So, hey, looks like our prayers have been answered still. Don't stop sending your get well wishes to Hangman Page. You don't know what's getting ready to happen. You don't know what could happen. I'm just happy that the worst case scenario was avoided. Because you just never know when it comes to wrestling. This shit happens way too often. You know what I mean? And people brought it up. We just saw Saraya return. Like, she had a scary injury with Sasha Banks. That wasn't her fault. I just remember Droz. Oh my god, Droz is like the worst one. I think that's the reason why, ultimately, I'm just like, hey, when someone gets hurt, let's be respectful, because you just never know. Droz is like, it's one of those cases where this man's career ended, and he had no say over it. It was just a freak accident. You know. So, I'm happy to at least know that he's doing okay. That's good news. Let me write a tweet really quickly. Great news. Great news. Okay. I'll report that later. All right. Let me wrap this up really quickly. So after Hangman Page gets carried off, all of this is improvised afterwards. Everything they did afterwards was improvised. Freaking Jon Moxley is a, he's staying inside the ring. He wishes Hangman a speedy recovery. Then he's up. He's like, I still have energy. I still want a match. Hey, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, get your ass out here and fight me like a man. Fight me like a man. He basically told MJF to cash in the chip on him. MJF runs out with a referee, goes to cash in the chip, and if he had done that, we would have had a new champ. But MJF did something we didn't expect him to do. He pulled out. He got the chip, walked away, gets a microphone, and then says, no, you know what? I'm not doing it that way. I'm going to do it the right way. I'm cashing in this chip to fight you at Full Gear. I want you to be 110%. Because when I beat you, there should be no question that I'm better than you, and you know it. And he starts getting the crowd into it. He starts pumping the crowd up. And in my mind, I'm thinking, this is a babyface turn, right? Like, this is a face turn. He turned face. He even said it. For the first time in his miserable life, he's going to earn it. Wow. Mox tells him he's going to earn the heel of his boot in his mouth, his teeth rolling around and going down his throat, his fist directly up his ass, his esophagus and larynx squeeze until his head turns purple and pops off like a pet suspender. He's earned a date with Destiny, with the best wrestler in the world, with the AEW World Champion. And he's going to make an example of him to prove that getting in the ring with Jon Moxley is dangerous as all hell. And that's it. That's how you end the show. Again, great show. We have gone back to AEW roots of telling stories again. And for the longest, well, at least for a couple of months there, they haven't been doing that. They gotten away from that. Now we're back into doing it. And I'm excited about that. But, yeah, we're ending the night. We're ending the night on a good note. Now that we know Hangman Page is responsive and he's still concussed. It's not like this is great news, but he's responsive. And he's going to be just fine. I'm not going to sit here and say that what's happened to him is a it's a great, like, it's the best thing that could happen. But at the very least, I'm just relieved. It wasn't anything like for him. Because you can recover from a concussion. You know what I mean? You can recover from that. I don't think I don't think there was any way of him coming out of this not hurt after watching that spot. You know? It's just... I'm just happy it's not as bad as it could have been. And I'll leave it at that. Thank y'all for watching. We're going to go to the live chat. I'm going to play these super chats here and let y'all have the floor. So y'all have the floor. What do y'all think about all of this? What do you think about Dynamite? What do you think about Paige, MJF? All the stories that were told tonight with the women, Riho being back, Jamie Hayter potentially fighting Toni Storm in the interim championship, debacle, drama, all that. Everything with Daniel Garcia, Bryan Danielson. There's a lot to talk about. The promo with MJF and William Regal. Let me know how you guys feel.
I was there, they were pretty loud.
Oh, the crowd was loud. Oh, that's good to go. Sorry. Went off screen to get me my bottle of water. I've been talking for a while here. Alright. Let me get out of here. Thank y'all so much for joining me on tonight's review of Dynamite. So it's Tuesday night. Means, again, although I have Wednesday and Thursday off per se, I am expecting some updates from the media scrum. Because if we're hearing Punk, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, I'm also assuming that means the investigation is either close to being concluded or has concluded. So if that's the case, there will be a live stream either tomorrow or sometime this week where we'll discuss what's happening here. So look for that. Other than that, though, Friday we'll do SmackDown. I'm expecting some more updates on Bray Wyatt. And since Rampage is live, I'll talk about that. I said that I won't be talking about any Rampage shows that are not live. If they're taped, I'm skipping it. But this one is live, so we'll talk about that. Apparently, the Acclaimed will be defending their belts for the rights of the trademark. Cheap storyline, but it's a storyline. It's like Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill. Oh, she stole the belt. Really? That's the story we're going with? All right, it's something. At least there's a storyline, right? So, yes, there will be a review on both shows this Friday and whatever else comes up this weekend. So, again, subscribe to Raw Cognizance for more non-wrestling stuff, my new podcast. There will be a big episode this week on Halloween, the franchise Halloween. And then we'll get back to the regular routes next week. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, click the bell. Catch all my content when it comes out. Be sure you, of course, leave a comment. And then follow me on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. By the way, my Facebook page, I just found out, is working again. Now, it had a broken link for a long time, for like a couple of months now, because it was taken down due to copyright claims and DMCA and bullshit. But I got it restored, but the link was broken. And so if you went to it on desktop form, you couldn't see the page. But if you looked to it on the your phone or the tablet, it appeared. But now I've asked my fans, they have fixed the link, so you can see it on the desktop form. I did change the name of the tag of the page. I think that might have helped it. So it's no longer Just Alex Central, it's the Just Alex Central. The link to it is down below in the description box, so please look for that. Other than that, thank y'all so much for continuing to watch me, and always know you are welcomed here in Alex's World, a place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm out of here. Peace.